Have you ever looked up at the sky and wondered about the true shape of our world? For centuries, we've been taught that we live on a giant spinning ball, a globe hurtling through space. But what if that's not the whole story? Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and persistent debates of our time: flat Earth versus globe Earth. Let's explore the arguments from both sides with an open mind. First, let's look at the globe model, the one most of us are familiar with. The evidence for a spherical Earth is vast and comes from many fields of science. For starters, think about ships sailing away from the shore. We don't just see them get smaller and smaller until they vanish. Instead, they appear to sink below the horizon, with the hull disappearing first and the mast last. This is exactly what you'd expect to see if the ship is moving over a curved surface. Then there's the phenomenon of time zones. It's day in New York while it's night in Tokyo. This makes perfect sense on a rotating sphere where only one side can face the sun at a time. If the Earth were a flat disk with the sun circling above it, we'd expect the entire surface to be illuminated at once, or at least experience a much more uniform twilight. Another powerful piece of evidence is the existence of lunar eclipses. During a lunar eclipse, the Earth passes directly between the sun and the moon, and the Earth's shadow is cast upon the moon's surface. What shape is that shadow? Every single time, without exception, it's a perfect circle. The only object that can cast a circular shadow from any angle is a sphere. A flat disk would cast a circular shadow only if the light source was directly above it, but at other angles, it would cast an oval or a line. And let's not forget gravity. The theory of gravity, as described by Newton and later refined by Einstein, explains why everything is pulled towards the center of a massive object. On a sphere, the center of mass is at its geometric center, so gravity pulls everything down towards the ground, no matter where you are on the surface. This creates a consistent and predictable force that holds our oceans, atmosphere, and us to the planet. Finally, we have over 60 years of space exploration. We have countless photographs and videos of Earth from space taken by numerous countries and private organizations. These images, from the famous blue marble photo taken by the Apollo 17 crew to the live feeds from the International Space Station, consistently show a spherical planet. Astronauts from all over the world have personally witnessed our planet's curvature from orbit. Now let's switch gears and explore the perspective of the flat Earth model. This isn't just a simple idea. It's a detailed cosmology with its own explanations for natural phenomena. Proponents of this model often argue that our own senses and everyday experiences suggest a flat, stationary plane. When you look out your window or stand on a beach, the world looks and feels flat. There's no perceptible curve. In the most common flat Earth model, the Earth is a disk with the North Pole at its center. The land masses are arranged around it, and the entire disk is surrounded by a massive ice wall, which we know as Antarctica. This ice wall is said to contain the oceans and prevent them from spilling over the edge. So how does this model explain things like day and night? Instead of the Earth rotating, the sun and moon are much smaller and closer than in the globe model. They are believed to circle like spotlights in the sky above the flat disk of the Earth. As the sun moves in its circular path, it illuminates different parts of the world, creating the cycle of day and night. The seasons are explained by the sun's path changing, spiraling in a tighter circle in the summer and a wider one in the winter. What about gravity? Many in the flat Earth community question the standard model of gravity. A common alternative explanation is that the Earth disk is not being pulled down by a force, but is instead constantly accelerating upwards at a rate of 9.8 meters per second squared. This constant upward motion would create the same sensation as gravity, pinning us to the ground. This is known as universal acceleration. Flat Earth supporters also point to certain observations they believe contradict the globe model. For example, They cite instances where objects are visible over vast distances across water, seemingly further than they should be if the Earth's curvature was blocking the view. They argue that atmospheric refraction, the bending of light, is often used too conveniently to dismiss these observations, and that a flat plane is a simpler explanation. Another point of contention is flight paths. Some argue that certain long-haul flights, particularly in the southern hemisphere, don't make sense on a globe but are more direct on a flat Earth map. For instance, a flight from Australia to South America might appear to be a strange curved route on a globe, but could be a more straightforward line on an azimuthal equidistant projection map, which is the map often used in the flat Earth model. The debate also extends into the nature of organizations like NASA. A core belief for many flat Earth advocates is that space agencies are part of a massive, long-standing conspiracy to hide the true shape of the Earth. They argue that photos and videos from space are computer-generated imagery, or CGI, and that missions like the moon landing were staged. The motivation for such a deception, they suggest, could range from financial control to hiding land beyond the ice wall, or even spiritual and philosophical reasons. So where does this leave us? We have two very different models of our world. On one hand, the globe model is supported by a massive body of scientific evidence from multiple independent fields, from physics and astronomy to geology and geodesy. It's the model that allows us to launch satellites, predict weather patterns, and navigate the globe accurately. The observations, mathematics, and photographic evidence all converge on a spherical Earth. On the other hand, the flat Earth model challenges us to question what we are told and to rely on our own observations. It provides alternative explanations for natural phenomena, even if those explanations often require rejecting established scientific principles like gravity and accepting the existence of a widespread, multi-generational conspiracy. It champions personal observation and skepticism of authority. The heart of this debate isn't just about geometry, it's about epistemology, how we know what we know. Do we trust the scientific method, which relies on testable predictions, peer review, and building upon centuries of accumulated knowledge? Or do we prioritize our own direct sensory experience and question the information provided by institutions we may not trust? It's a fascinating thought experiment. To truly understand our world, we need to be curious, ask questions, and be willing to examine the evidence for ourselves. Whether you stand firmly with the globe or are intrigued by the flat Earth perspective, the journey of seeking truth is what truly matters. It pushes us to learn more about physics, optics, astronomy, and even history. Thank you so much for joining me on this exploration of one of the most captivating debates out there. It's a topic that really makes you think. What are your thoughts? Which piece of evidence do you find most compelling? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your perspective. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you do not miss our next adventure into the world's biggest questions. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.